Hi, Pisces. It's Jeffrey. This is your reading for December 18th through the 25th. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Solstice. I'll be doing a solstice video, and I will be doing one for the new moon, full moon, and I'll be doing January. I've been making a lot of videos. I'm going to be making a lot of videos. And I'm really getting that there's this choice. The choice feels like am I doing this because I want to please people, or am I doing this because it's my own best interest? So I think it's like the choice of putting yourself first or not. All right. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, press the bell for notifications. I offer private readings. I also offer IET, which is a healing modality, which can help you to move energy. I did the description, if you want to hear it in person, is on the Feast of Guadalupe video. And it's also about, you could read about it on the website. All right. And I'm doing a lot of videos tonight. My plan is to do 12 tonight. We'll see how far I get. And it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. It's like, okay, you're my friend. Let's say, I'm just giving an example. I'll let you move in with me, but you have to pay me. Right? So it's like I'm helping you and you're helping me. It doesn't have to be, oh yeah, just come and stay forever for nothing. Been there. Been on both ends of it, actually. And it's not comfortable either way. They're right. Yeah, self-love. Self-love and practicality. Such an interest that I gave that example because I always understand her as a single mother, right? She knows how to make the money. So she's the boss, she's the mom, she's the breadwinner, but she's really smart with the money. So the example that I usually give is that, she's on sort of a budget, right? And she realizes that if she, let's say, she has two kids, and one of them it's going to be a hand-me-down thing, right? And she realizes that if she buys this one jacket for $10, it's only going to last one season. And she won't be able to use it next season for the other one. So even though it's cheap, it's really like throwing money away. But if she buys another one for, say, 15, I mean, as if you can get jackets for $10 to $15, for 15, it'll last. And so basically she paid $7.50. Right? She's practical. She thinks it through in a practical way. She's fertile. She knows how to make the money. She knows how to spend the money in a really wise, in a wise way. It's not even frugal. It's wise. All right. Yeah, I think your lesson has been learned. I think your lesson has been learned. And this is also a card of intuition. You're getting messages. You're hearing it in your head as to what to do, how to take care of yourself financially, emotionally, in terms of your time as well. Because the pentacles also represent time. So it's like I'm spending too much time with something that's doesn't really serve me or make me feel good, or it doesn't really, it's not productive. And then I have the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is really a change in emotion, a change in emotion. And, I know for myself, um, it's been a lifelong lesson of learning how to take care of myself first, as opposed to take care of everybody else. It's been a lifelong lesson. And some lessons, we need to like go through over and over again until we finally get it. It's just the way it is. And it's funny because sometimes you think, oh, well, I learned that lesson and I'm done with it. This happens to me all the time. I'm like, oh, well, I learned that lesson. I'm done with it. I've already been to sixth grade, or whatever. And then it'll come up again. It'll come up again. And it's like, well, I thought I was done with this lesson. And it's almost like the universe saying, well, now I'm giving you an opportunity to practice what you learned. Yeah. I really like him. So he's Page. So he has an energy of use, right? It's also an intuitive card. Yet another one. My third out of four. The Page of Cups has like this youthful. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's very giving. He's very generous, and he's full of love. And he's a little naive in it. And it's like I always liken him to like the 14-year-old that falls in love with their teacher, and like, oh, we're gonna get married one day, like a little bit like that. Writing love letters, the whole thing. Buying flowers, that are like really, kind of crumbling in a way, but sweet, and the intent is really there. Um, and I feel like sometimes we need to give that energy to ourselves. It's like, I really love you. And I'm gonna, oh, we're gonna go away together and it's gonna be perfect. But I feel like sometimes we need to like access that energy for ourselves of I really love you a lot, from you to you. I really love you and I really want to take care of you. And that hanging around with these bad people is not good for you. So a little bit like that. Yeah, the King of Pentacles. I just did Cancer. Cancer was my first sign, you're my second. I started with water. And the King of Pentacles came up. The King of Pentacles is like the man with the knowledge. He knows how to be secure, he knows how to be stable, and he knows the value of time. And he uses his resources wisely, just like the Queen. There's something subconscious going on. There's something subconscious. You're building. It feels like, well, actually, so now it's in a way similar to the Cancer reading. You're building a new foundation. You're building a new foundation that's based in self-care. And you're really clear. You're really clear. Self-care can mean a lot of things. Self-care is about, what am I eating? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I taking care of my body? Am I taking care of my mind? Am I doing things that bring me comfort? Am I surrounding myself with things that are joyful? Am I engaged with people who are supportive? Self-care, there's a lot of levels to it. There's a lot of levels to it. All I'm going to say. Yeah, because this is so interesting. So this is the card of a false path, but it's the card of addiction. And sometimes we're tied to something, or we think we're tied because they think they're tied. We think we're tied to something. It's like, well, even though this person, is, kicks me up and down the street, and even though, um, they only call me when they need something, I owe them something. Or, almost an unhealthy relationship to a job. Or, I mean, it could just as soon be like a codependent relationship. Like a codependent relationship. Like, uh, you have a codependent relationship with yourself. Call yourself on the phone and say, darling, I need to borrow some money. Say, oh, no problem. How much do you need? There's something weird going on with the plumbing. All right. Um, it's time to break the cycle because you learned the lesson. You learned the lesson. That's the thing. You learned the lesson and you're really clear about it. And it's like, oh, well, I'm just going to go back this one last time. Good luck. It'll be different this time. No, it won't. It never is. It never is. Yeah. And you might feel a little like defensive about it, right? Well, you don't understand and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, no one can reach this guy. No one can really, he's high on the hill. So, sometimes, you know, people in our lives, it's like, well, I want you to do this for me because you always do this for me and la, 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 la. And it's like, I ain't doing it for you, but they can't reach you. So worry not, let them chitter chatter and holler and whatever. Trust your intuition. The other thing about this card is it's your card, but it's a mysterious path. So it's like, well, I wouldn't know what to do if all these people didn't rely on me. You'll figure it out. Maybe you'll have the extra time for you to rely on you. Maybe you'll have the extra time to read that book you wanted to read. Maybe you'll have the extra time to uh, paint your own house instead of painting somebody else's. It's a mystery, but it's almost like a mystery that's calling you. That's what I always get from that card. It's like, I don't really know why I'm doing this or going down this path, but I feel beckoned, you know, and I don't feel like it's a weird bad beckoning. I feel like it's a kind of delightful. It's not Hansel and Gretel. It's a delightful beckoning. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Take what's yours and leave. All right. That was really weird with this. I know you didn't hear it on the thing because this is noise canceling, but it was weird. The plumbing in Mexico is weird. Yeah. Yeah. It's, what I like about it. So this is a page again. Pages, because they have this energy of youth, they go out and try something new, right? It's like something that just sort of occurred to them, right? And kids make tents out of the blanket. It's sort of like, yeah, we're just going to like create something and make it work, right? And there's no because I always get this feeling with the pages of they haven't had experience with like falling down a lot, so they don't stop themselves. They don't say, well, they're like, yeah, 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 let's do it. Like that's the energy. And this is like a whole new road. This is a whole new road. It's interesting that yours and the Pisces, yours and the Cancer reading were very similar. I'll see what happens with Scorpio. Um, and I don't think it's a mistake that I've been talking about all year Does this hold love for me? Does this hold love for me? Does this hold love for me? I think that, you know, the people who tune into whatever station, channel, what, you know, everyone finds their own niche, and the ones they're supposed to like watch or whatever. And I don't think it's a mistake. Like, that's been the lesson that I've been living, and that I talk about it all the time. And the question I continually ask myself, and have really since the fire, is, does this hold love for me? Does this hold love for me? Does this hold love for me? And if it doesn't, it's out. If it doesn't, I'm not in the right place. If it doesn't, the answer is no. Like, that's it. You know, it's almost like being at a restaurant and somebody offers you something that you know you're highly allergic to. It's like, no, no. Oh, but it's so good, and everybody else is eating it. It's like, yeah, but I break out in hives and might have to go to the hospital. So, no, thanks. No. All right. Practical. You've learned the lesson. You're letting the remorse go. You're on a new path where you're trusting yourself. There's a lot going on subconsciously that you're building, and you will be able to build something that's steady and secure, that gives you more time. You're hearing the calling, and you're trusting your intuition in a really clear manner. You've broken the shackles of this illusion that I have to do something, I owe something to anybody. And, you know, you might feel a little defensive at first, but worry not, because, you know, once that's over, you'll be able to build something new that's creative and fertile with fantastic hat. You know, I love my hats. Blessings. Check out the yearly, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.